You rat it! If it looks like a rat, if it moves like a rat, and if it smells like a rat, then it's normally a rat. But is Big Otto Delaney actually a rat? Did he rat on SAMCRO? Or is he more of a mouse? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. And we're here to find out, did Big Otto Delaney, after years of being loyal, after years of being by the club's side, despite being inside, did he actually rat on the club by giving up Bobby and information about the club after finding out about the death of Luan and the fact that the club lied to him about getting revenge by killing Luan's killer, Georgie Caruso? So we put up the poll. Was Otto giving up Bobby and the club justifiable, considering what the club had done? And the three options are A, yes, they done him wrong, B, a bit of both, and C, no excuse to rat ever. And after the votes, 433 of them in total, it looks like we are pretty split, because with over just half of the votes, 54% of you guys are undecided. You think it's a little bit of both. You think that Otto may have ratted, but he may have been justified in doing so. Then in second place with 24%, we have yes, they done him wrong, believing that he was entitled to rat. And then in third place with just 2% less than the second option, you guys said no excuse to rat ever. So for me, this is like pretty much straight down the middle. It's 50-50. About half of you guys can't pick, and then the half that's remaining is pretty much split down the middle. So for me, this is as 50-50 in a poll as it can possibly get, unless of course there was only two options and it was actually bang on 50-50.
This tells me when you've done a right option here, when you put these three up. This is a good poll. I hate when you do put up a poll and you get 92% to 8, for example. I think this is a sign of a great poll. But you know what? Normally I would agree with this. No excuse to rat ever.
No excuse to rat, buddy. You ratted.
What I would say is, I think normally when people do rat, it's always selfish motives. In this case, it's not like Otto was doing this to avoid death. The guy did it and was like, you know what, move my execution up, actually. In this case, it was simply because SAMCRO didn't follow the rules.
Yeah, it was more revenge. It was the only way he can get back at the club. It's not like he can break out of jail and kill them all.
Time for you to make a list, Bobby.
There was no greed, there was no financial gain, there was no power play here.
Wasn't shite bag antics. It wasn't like, oh, I can't do this time, I can't do death sentence, I can't do, you know,
yeah, he didn't,
the chair.
He didn't, there wasn't anything cowardly. I think Otto had simply just had enough of the club fucking betraying him.
Lies.
And he thought, you know what? Screw this. They're going to see how it feels to be me. They're going to see how it feels to be shafted all the time.
Well, let's be real, right? Gemma went up. Otto demanded that they get to the bottom of it, figure out who killed Luan, Georgie Caruso and all that stuff. And then Clay, it's almost disrespectful to send Bobby, because they all knew that Bobby was sleeping with Luan. And then the guy that was sleeping with her lies to Otto and says, we took Georgie out.
Is that disrespectful though?
I think it is. I understand why Clay did it, but realistically, like, to send the guy up, it's disrespectful, right? But especially the fact that Bobby lied. Bobby put this in motion. As much as I think it was disrespectful for Clay to, like, put Bobby up here, Bobby should have to go up here. No, I think so.
No, I don't know why it's disrespectful to put Bobby up here. He's the one that slept with Luan. It's his responsibility to put it right. If you fuck up, you're the one that puts it right. Why should someone else have to go up and lie to Otto? Why should someone else have to go up and explain to Otto why they haven't got revenge for his wife's death? Bobby was the one sleeping with Luan. He's the one that betrayed Otto. Therefore, he's the one that should have to sit down face to face with Otto and give Otto the truth. But in this case, he told him a bunch of lies. And I don't even view this guy as ratting. I honestly don't. Because like we said earlier, there was no gain here. It wasn't a financial gain. It wasn't a power gain. It wasn't greed. There was nothing. There wasn't like financial involved or money involved with this. It was simply Otto done everything the club had asked, and he even explains this. He's put himself through pain. He's lost his vision. He's had his wrist tanned. He's been attacked night in, night out. The guy's went through hell inside, and all he wanted was for Luan to be safe and to be able to have a life while he was basically rotting inside with no life. And not only did the club prevent her from living that life, but they were also the ones that got her killed. So I think Otto is 100% within his reason here to rat. I don't blame him one bit.
And you've also got to look at the fact that he knew that the club sent Bobby, and he thinks that the club as a whole have lied to him, when in reality it was just Bobby. So he's thought, Clay and Jax have sent Bobby to lie to me that they've killed Luan's killer, when in reality they haven't.
So I think you could argue Bobby here isn't just as... I think Bobby's fucked up.
No, but do you see my point though? He thinks that the entire charter has decided we're going to send Bobby to lie that they've killed the killer, when in reality they haven't.
Yeah, but Clay didn't tell Bobby to lie. Clay, as far as
Yeah,
Clay...
but Otto thinks that. Otto thinks the whole club's lied. He doesn't think it's just Bobby. Why would Otto just think it's Bobby?
But as far as I'm aware, the club thought that Bobby told Otto the truth.
Yep. That's what they did think. You know what? Bobby's the real catalyst here. We can talk about, well, you know what? They probably shouldn't have kept Georgie Caruso alive, yada, yada, yada. They shouldn't have, right? But at the end of the day...
They shouldn't have, but Bobby should have been honest and just explained the reason why they did. And tell Otto, look, we need him alive a little bit longer, but I promise you we will kill him.
Yep. And see, at the end of the day, Bobby hurt Otto by going up, and Otto in turn used Bobby to hurt SAMCRO at the end, and I think it was poetic in that way, and it was a revenge best served cold. And for me, it's one of the few excuses to rat ever in TV shows. When most people, I can't think of an example where someone's ratted in a TV show and I've went, you know what, that was justified. Because normally it is more like the shite bag way out, but here, he's not wanting anything, like we said earlier. He literally just wants Bobby to rot in hell, and he's hurting SAMCRO through Bobby.
Time for you to start your own list, Bobby.
Time for you to start it. Anyway, let's go into our wee list here. Bridget, Cora, I love the long comments. See you, James Turner. I'll be getting stuck into that, big man. Right, anyway, Otto sacrificed his future body and any possibility of parole for the club, and his so-called brothers would continuously abuse the relationship with him, often to his detriment. SAMCRO regularly took advantage of him and his loyalty to the club. When he asked for one favour in return, they flat out lied to him. I have a hard time finding sympathy for anyone other than Otto here, and he was well in bounds to hold them accountable for their transgressions. I agree. I guess it was more Bobby, but at the end of the day, Bobby... It's not like Bobby did it out of maliciousness. He did it to give Otto closure, because he knew, I don't want to... Bobby didn't have the balls to tell him that we need to keep Georgie alive.
Yeah, was it really to give Otto closure, or was it just so Bobby could save face for himself?
But is that not weak for Bobby?
Well, I think it is weak for Bobby.
We're led to believe that, Bobby Elvis, the righteous one.
Yeah, but just look at the way...
Like, the guy would have his eye cut out before speaking, but...
Just look at the way club members treat, like, table members that are at the table when they're in prison, as compared to someone like Otto, who's not getting out. It's almost like as soon as they know that you're not getting out and you're doing a life sentence, it's like they've got no fucking loyalty left to you, but they still expect you to have loyalty to them. It makes zero fucking sense. It's like in Breaking Bad, when Mike's guys would go to jail, he'd be paying their family money in order to buy their silence.
Yeah.
But it's like in Sons of Anarchy, it's fucking weird. It's like with Otto, they just expect Otto to continuously be loyal to the club, even though they weren't offering him nothing in return. And sooner or later, he snapped.
He snapped like a twig. Real AST92 says they should have been real about Georgie from the start. I'm sure Otto would have understood why the club still needed him alive at the time. Yeah, and that's it, right? You know what? He might have been pissed with Bobby, but he wouldn't have ratted.
I think he would have appreciated the truth. Or he would have had at least he would have had the option to say, no, that's not good enough, I want him dead. Then maybe Bobby could have went back to Clay, and maybe Bobby could have just took it into his own hands.
Could have.
Let's say Bobby goes, no, I need to do this for Otto, and Bobby just kills Charlie Caruso without Clay's...
Georgie Caruso.
Right, Georgie Caruso without Clay's go-ahead. Like, what's the worst that's going to happen to Bobby? Probably get a scolding, but I don't think he's going to be kicked out the club. He's not going to be excommunicated. He's not going to get Mr. Mayhem foot, is he?
I don't think he is. James Toro says, Otto sacrificed everything for SAMCRO, but they should have been real with him from the start. 2 points I need to make here. Otto could have kept his head down and did his time whenever SAMCRO needed favours involving attacking enemies. He could have said no, but he accepted it, and he got added sentences and eventually the death penalty. Otto may be a criminal. I didn't like the fact he killed Pamela Torrent in Season 6. It was Season 5, big man. But he is one of the most tragic SAMCRO members. Why did Otto get all the brutal shit done to him? Otto should have been resentful towards the Sons and said, I sacrificed everything for this club and now I'm inside getting additional prison sentences because you need this yin shanked. Or this one's shanked. No, fuck off. I'm done with SAMCRO. I told you to look after Luana. Brother, fat one, sleeps with her and she ends up dead.
Would it have been better if a slim one slept with her? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. You know what? I think Otto, but like Otto made it clear that here, I'll do anything inside as long as you protect Luana.
Yeah. I mean, if Otto did keep his head down and he wasn't carrying out all these favours and all these killings and whatever beatings that the club wanted, then he would have got out.
Yeah.
But he effectively got himself a life sentence.
He was close to getting it, and then the guy who blinded him in one eye, he killed him and it was caught on tape. So that shafted him. Moving on to point number 2. SAMCRO should have taken care of Georgie right after Luan was killed. We should have gotten an episode dedicated to SAMCRO locating and getting revenge on Georgie. I brought this up before. Bobby should have told Otto the truth much sooner. I don't think he would have been cool with them using Georgie for his part in Farmington Heights. Charming Heights. Farmington Heights? What's this all about, buddy? I think season 4 was great the way it was done. I don't think we need a full episode about getting Georgie. I think the way it was done with Bobby, Tig and Opie literally just getting him into the back of his Mercedes and pulling the trigger. I'm not going to kill you. Then the other two do it. That was fine. Do we really need a full episode dedicated to killing Georgie?
I think that would have fucked up the entire pace in the season 4.
Yeah. I mean, you've got Clay going on the rampage, the letters, you've got the war with the cartel. Do we really?
Yeah, I mean, Georgie Caruso at the end of the day is like a side mission, and isn't he? He's not like he's not the main story. He never was. I think to dedicate a full story, a full episode to Georgie, when you've got the whole cartel thing going, you've got Clay on a massacre trying to kill Tara and grab the letters, and you want to pause that for a full episode just so we could have big fat Georgie Caruso taking it. I'm not buying that. I don't think that would have worked.
Now, he does say
would have been out of place.
They should have taken care of Georgie right after Luan was killed. So if we want to go back to season 2, they were still at war with Sobel. So could they really have?
Well, I mean, I don't think they really knew it in season 2 who was responsible for her death.
Yeah, it was kind of more a shit. We've got multiple enemies. Then Clay's like, "You're the one murdering, women." But yeah, I think the general consensus here is that Otto did the right thing because the club done him wrong too many times, and it's all Bobby's fault.
Well, I mean, I don't think he done the right thing, but I think it's fair to say what he was justified in ratting. I wouldn't necessarily say it's the right thing.
Yeah, no, well, I said the general consensus, I meant as in the comments. Obviously, in terms of the voting.
Well, there was only 3 comments, and they kind of back up what the votes say.
You know what, right?
People are split.
People are split, but there's 3 comments. Let's make them feel all inclusive, alright? Like a nice wee hotel deal at, the big house, the SAMCRO house. But I like the fact this poll's split, and I think that's a sign of a good poll, like I said earlier, and I like discussing this, because for me, you look at other people who's ratted in the show. I mean, look what Juice ratted for.
My daddy's black.
Your birth certificate.
What does it say? Does it say Hispanic? Or does it say black? Or does it say the N-word, Justy boy? What does it say?
Maybe Otto should check the death certificate.
Fuck aye.
Does it say murdered? There's been a murder!
Anyway, guys, speaking of the split in the poll, we're going to split. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, though, been Fog Entertainment. Thanks for watching, and peace.